Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/talesfromretail, where people who work in retail tell us stories about their bosses, employees and those interesting customers they see daily. If you guys want a place to chat or you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so using the top link in the description for the Discord. But before you do that, let's sit back, relax and enjoy some funny Reddit stories. I know the guy who owns this place. I manage a locally owned store where we deal in used goods of the video game variety. Being a small business dealing in used goods, we have certain policies in place for a reason. Most of our customers understand and don't harass us about them, but not this guy. We'll call him AC for annoying customer. AC enters our store and walks up to the front counter where my associate and myself are working. We greet AC and he asks how much we pay out for an Xbox One. I explain our store policy, which is that we need to see all items in person to give out any quotes. Ignoring what I just stated, AC proceeds to tell us about how he really doesn't want to sell it. It's just taking up space and not being used. So he asks for a price range. I again explain to AC how we need to see the item and don't give quotes because there are quite a few things that go into the numbers we give out, and that we need to see the condition for. I again state that we'd be more than happy to take a look at it if AC just brings it into the store. AC starts to get upset. He raises his voice a bit and says, "Look, I know you can give me a number. It's already in your computer. Just tell me what the screen says for an Xbox One." I try to explain to him that our system doesn't work that way and that we look up everything manually in real time, so I can't give a number without seeing the items in question. AC doesn't let me finish explaining and interrupts, asking me to just look it up on eBay or whatever and give him the lowest we'd offer. By this time, I'm done trying to be nice. I tend to get people trying to get me to be a pushover and it really bothers me. So I tell him once more that we have our policies for a reason and everyone is treated the same. AC then starts going off about how I'm being rude and denying him a service. Being highly annoyed, I inform him that I have a right to refuse service and that he can just not bring his items in because we will no longer be buying anything from him. AC starts chuckling to himself. AC then says, "Oh man, you've really messed up now. You don't even know. I know the guy who owns this place. You're the manager here, yeah?" I proceeded to tell him yes. AC asks for my name and keeps prattling off about how he's going to contact them and how I've messed up big time about refusing him a service. I then tell him I have the right to refuse service to anyone and that he is no longer welcome in the store and to please leave. AC has to have one final word in. "You won't see me again in this store because you won't have a job anymore," he says as he finally leaves the store. I proceeded to send a picture of the guy from our camera footage to the owner, who I know quite well. He tells me he's never met the guy. When the guy started going on about how he demanded the lowest offer, the guy should have just said like 50 cents or $1 just to get him to leave. Lady, you need to lay off the Tony Robbins. Many years ago, I worked at a bookstore. This bookstore had a pretty lax return policy. If you had a receipt, we'd take it back. If you didn't have a receipt, as long as it was something we sold, we'd take it back in exchange for store credit. The only thing was, returns without a receipt required a manager's code in the computer, but it was no big deal, and the managers at my store rarely refused a return unless the book was seriously damaged or we just didn't carry the title, and they always took back books that still had our store sticker attached. The store I worked at started all new hires off as cashiers for a month or two before letting them move up to a bookseller, and this happened about a week after I started, so I was still pretty green. But I hadn't run into anything I couldn't handle. Enter the holy prophet of self-esteem. She was nondescript, probably mid-40s, light brown hair, easy smile. She approached my register and pulled a book out of one of our bags. "I need to return this." "Sure thing, do you have your receipt?" "I don't. Is that going to be a problem?" I flipped over the book and saw one of our store's stickers. "Not at all. It will have to be for store credit though. That's our policy for returns without a receipt." "Store credit is fine. I shop here all the time." "Cool. I just need to ring the manager real quick to process the return." The lady looked miffed. "But I said store credit would be just." "Yeah, the computer just needs a manager's code. And I'm just a cashier, so." "No!" At this point, I kind of freeze, not sure what to do. The lady's vehemence is totally out of proportion to needing a manager's code, and she's also looking at me like I just drop-kicked her favourite puppy. You are not just a cashier. You have so much more worth as a person than this menial job. It's so sad what we've done to your generation, telling you that all you are is what you do for your employer. But you're more than a cashier. You're a person. No, ma'am. I mean, I can't process your return on my own, because I'm just a cashier and the computer requires a... You are not just a cashier! Ma'am, I need to call a manager to... Say you're not just a cashier! I'm not just a cashier? Good. I bet you feel much better now. Now, can I please return my book? Me, very decidedly not feeling better. Sure, but I need to call my manager to process the return. The lady's voice was quavering, suddenly on the verge of tears. But you said you weren't just a cashier. I thought you understood. You're more than this job. You have the ability to do this. I believe in you. I really can't. The computer won't let me because it needs a manager's code, and I'm not a manager. I'm a cashier. Stop saying you're a cashier! It was at this point that my manager came to the rescue. I'm not sure if the other cashier paged her or if she just overheard the commotion, but she calmly walked over and told me to move to the next register so she could finish processing the lady's return. The lady spent the entire time my manager was ringing up the return, haranguing her for destroying her employee's sense of self-worth. I don't know if the lady took her store credit to a different location or what, but I never saw her in our store again. Shut down the store! How dare you have something in stock! This happened about a year ago, and a post reminded me of an older customer. I work in an electronics department of a big box retailer. Now, we aren't the biggest store, so other stores normally will get a high demand product before us instead, unless we order a lot of it before that happens. One of such items is a prepaid card for home phone service. We had ordered hundreds of them, just in case of a shortage, and we got lucky because soon after, it was out of stock everywhere. Naturally, people came here instead of other stores. Cue old lady. I was cleaning when I hear someone screaming they need help. I sighed, walking over annoyed. Someone is screaming like a banshee instead of coming to me to ask for help. Hi, how ca- She cuts me off. You never have anything in stock. This store is terrible. Me, slightly annoyed, but shrug it off. What's the item you're looking for? Names off, prepaid card. Oh, we have those right over here. I take her over to the place I was cleaning because the cards were there. She grumbles about the layout and not being able to find anything. So I chucked up her being rude as a side effect of remodeling the store and just mad at being confused. It's a common thing, figuring it was over. But boy was I wrong. This store is terrible. Never has what I need in stock. Me, confused. Ma'am, we have the item. No, I mean everything else. If you don't have it, you don't have it for weeks at a time. I'm sorry to hear that. Sometimes popular items are stocked at the larger stores, so it's out of our control. The old lady, dead serious, well, they should shut down the store. I was shocked. She legit was saying the store shouldn't exist over one or two items. I know there are good people here, and I'd hate to see people not be working. Blah blah. Some people like coming here, so that wouldn't be good. She laughed at me and called me a liar, saying the store at the snooty town 20 minutes from here was better. I knew the problem now. She wasn't mad at items being out of stock here. She's mad she had to go out of her way to a backwoods to get her stuff. Ma'am, I have plenty of regulars who come here because they like me and my department. And, cut off again, called a liar and that no one wants to be here. But before she could finish, or I could respond, someone jumped in who is the real MVP. This nice dude is my regular, and loves me to death. He's a bit older and has a mental disability, but I love him just the same. He interjects. Jake, there's my guy. He bear hugs me. Hey, thanks for helping me with my application the other day, and I finally learned how to use Google like you showed me. I told him that's great, and politely let him know that I was with someone. Oh, sorry bud. Sorry ma'am. Listen to this guy, he's way nicer than the folks at other stores. If looks could kill, the old lady looked furious. I was afraid she was going to go off, so I stepped in between them. "Oh, I'm done. Let your favourite help you." She walked away. So relieved, I helped my regular add a phone card to his phone and thought it was over. Nope. Next day, got called into the office. Turns out, she filed a complaint, saying I was rude and refused to help, and belittled and embarrassed her with a customer. Luckily, my management team is pretty good, and took my side based off my track record, while already reviewed footage of it. The job sucked, but it's people like that nice dude that keeps me around. That's such a good thing of the nice dude to do. Just go up to the customers and annoy them, because the employees can't do that or they'll lose the job, but a random customer can, because what have they got to lose? Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you did, then please do leave a like, as it helps out a lot. Also, comment down below which of these 3 stories was your favourite, and consider subscribing if you aren't already. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlists on our channel. But thank you again, and I will see you very soon.